Salamualaikum guys, this is Mr. Middlepath aka Ahmed Mauer. Fourth part of the series now, we're going to talk about accountability. And the thing is, when it comes to something like masturbation and pornography, it's a very private drug, right? Or it's a very private addiction. So people go about quitting it in a very private way, which sometimes is not very helpful. So first we're going to talk about personal accountability and then having someone that can hold you accountable. And the first thing is we want to hold ourselves accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we hold ourselves, if you're not a Muslim or if you don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please keep watching this, as you can still use the method that I'm going to tell you about, right? So when we make a promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or we swear an oath to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the kafara means the punishment or the payment that you're going to pay is feeding 10 poor people the average amount of food that you eat for a day. So if you eat $20 worth of food per day, or $30 worth of food per day, you're going to give $30 to 10 poor people. That's $300. And you can either do this, obviously the best way is to give food by hand to 10 different poor families, but most people don't have that option, or they don't know someone that can do that, so they just pay the $300 in cash to a donation services or to a social services institution. And that also works. And that serves to kind of purify yourself, and it also serves to make you feel the sting and the pain of having broken your agreement. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like when we don't keep our promises. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't like, no one likes when you don't keep your word. So there has to be some kind of way of saying that I'm sorry, more than just your tongue saying, oh, I'm sorry. There has to be a way of saying that I actually am sorry, and these are the actions that I do. And if you don't have money, then you fast 3 days in a row. So if you do have money, then you can't just fast 3 days in a row. That's obviously the easier thing. Only if you don't have enough money, then you fast 3 days in a row. And even that fasting is beneficial, because it helps you control your desires. So that's the two things that you can do. And now that we talked about holding yourself accountable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and actually having some kind of way of punishing yourself for failing, now we have part 2, which is holding yourself accountable to a person. And it's obviously best to have a real person who doesn't do this, who is not judgmental and won't judge you for doing it, but at the same time will hold you accountable to yourself and make you feel ashamed of doing it. That's very important. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't have those kind of people in our lives, or we're embarrassed to tell the people that we know. So do the best you can and try and finding someone that is understanding and will help you better yourself, right? And you really need to start cutting off the people who have no shame, who have no desire to quit. Really, if you're not strong enough to quit on your own, then those people who are not helping you are gonna hurt you. So don't think to yourself, these are my friends. They're not your friends, okay? If someone's not helping you get better, they're not your friends. And if you're having the mentality that I can help them out, that's not true, because you can't help yourself out. So if you can help yourself out and you're done, then you can kind of take a little bit out of your time to help other people who are not able to get out of the hole themselves. But if you're still in the hole, you need to focus on yourself, and you need to look for someone who's above you to pull you out. Don't look to the people who are in the hole, right? If you have a friend who's trying to quit like you and he's in the hole, then you guys can boost each other up to come out of the hole. I'm talking about like the hole, an underground. I'm giving you guys an analogy that you guys can think of. So, inshallah, hopefully you guys can find someone that can help you out in real life that you know. If you can't, use a friend that's not stuck in it like you are. And if he is stuck in it like you are, he should at least, or she should at least be trying, because I know girls have this problem too, they should at least be trying to get out together. But get help is what I'm trying to say. Don't do it alone is what I'm trying to say. And there's many different ways that you can go about listening to that advice. And keep your promise to Allah, pay your kafara. Assalamualaikum guys.